Let's be real for a second. Are you actually getting the most out of AI, or does it kind of feel like you're just scratching the surface? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down these 6 essential skills that will take you from being a casual AI user to a legit pro. This is all about getting way better results and, yeah, saving a ton of time.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. This isn't just about learning a few prompt tricks, it's a totally different way of thinking. A huge, massive divide is opening up as we speak, and honestly, most people are stuck on the beginner side of it and don't even know it.
So it's a good time to ask yourself, right now, before we even dive in, where do you think you fall on the spectrum? The whole point here is to give you the playbook so you can confidently hop right over to the pro side.
So, let's start building that bridge. The first 2 skills are all about setting the stage. This is the stuff you do before you even think about writing a prompt. Trust me, this is the prep work that makes all the difference.
Okay, skill number 1 is a huge mental shift. Beginners, they tend to use just one AI tool, like ChatGPT, for absolutely everything. But the pros, they build a specialized team. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't hire one person to be your designer, your accountant, and your engineer, right? The exact same logic applies here.
So here's a really simple way to think about your AI team. First, you need a brain. That's your general go-to, like a ChatGPT or Claude for drafting ideas and brainstorming. Next, you need a researcher, something like Perplexity for when you need hard facts and actual verified sources. And finally, you need a creator, like Midjourney, for all your visuals. If you can get comfortable with one tool in each of these buckets, you're going to be set for like 90% of your work.
All right, on to skill number 2, problem clarification. This is where I personally used to waste so much time. I'd get really frustrated with the AI's vague answers, but then it hit me. I was the one being vague. It's a simple truth, right? The quality of what you get out is a direct reflection of the quality of what you put in. And this slide just brings the whole idea home perfectly. Asking an AI for something without any context is exactly like walking into a restaurant and telling the waiter, "Bring me food." Sure, you'll get something, but it's probably not what you actually wanted. Being specific, like you see in the pro example, is how you make sure you get exactly what you need.
So, here's a new little ritual for you. Before you type a single word into that prompt box, just take 30 seconds. That's it. Ask yourself these 3 questions. What am I actually trying to do here? Who is this for? And what does a win look like? This simple little step can totally transform your results. I'm serious. Okay, you've done the prep work, you've set the stage. Now let's get into the active conversation. These next 2 skills are all about mastering that back and forth, how you talk to the AI, and, just as important, how you check to make sure what it's telling you is actually true.
Prompting itself is a whole skill, and here are 4 ways to really level up. Now, all of these are pretty powerful, but we're going to zoom in on one of the most effective ones, the show, don't tell method. So let's really dig into this show, don't tell thing. I mean, just look at the difference here. The weak prompt is just a vague description. The strong prompt, it gives a concrete example. When you give the AI something to model, whether that's a picture or a piece of text, the quality of what it gives you back just goes through the roof. You're basically removing all the guesswork for it. Now, we got to talk about a pretty major risk. AI models can and do hallucinate. What that means is they will literally make stuff up, facts, statistics, sources, but they'll present it to you with complete and total confidence. The takeaway here is really simple. You just can't take what an AI says at face value, ever.
And that leads us right into skill number 4, verification. The pro mindset isn't about being paranoid. It's just about being a smart fact checker. You have to work under the assumption that anything the AI gives you could be wrong until you've checked it. And here's a super simple 3-step process for you. First, use a specialist tool, again, something like Perplexity, to find real sources. Second, interrogate the AI. Ask it straight up. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you about that fact? You'd be amazed how often it'll backtrack. And third, get a second opinion from a different AI model. It's just like checking with multiple experts before you make a big decision.
All right, we've covered how to get ready and how to have a really productive conversation with AI. Now we're at the final stage, creating that polished final product. These last 2 skills are all about orchestrating your tools and adding that absolutely essential human touch.
So skill number 5 is all about workflow orchestration. Instead of just using one tool for one thing, the real power comes when you start chaining them together, letting each tool do the specific thing it's best at. This is how you build these powerful, repeatable systems for all your work. And you can do this in 2 ways. The first is manual tool stacking. This is where you are the director. Moving from Perplexity to get some stats, then over to ChatGPT for the copy, then to Ideogram for a graphic. It's awesome for creative projects where you want a lot of control. Then there's automation with AI agents. Here, you're more like an executive producer. You just set a high-level goal and the agent runs the whole workflow for you. This is perfect for all those repetitive tasks.
And now for our final and maybe the most critical skill of all, the human polish. I really can't overstate how important this is. The second your output sounds like an AI wrote it, people immediately check out. It's because we're just wired for human connection, and when text feels sterile or generic, that trust just evaporates.
A great way to think about this is the 80-20 rule. The AI can do 80% of the heavy lifting, the research, the first draft, all that grunt work. But that final 20%, that's all you. That is the crucial human polish that makes the content actually connect with another human being.
So the first part of that polish is about injecting your unique vision. An AI might give you a generic, technically correct statement. Your job is to turn that into a memorable, personal story. See? It says the same thing, but now it has your voice, your perspective.
The second part is applying your taste. AI has this bad habit of using all this corporate jargon. We can call them AI-isms. Your job is to be the editor. You got to trim that fat. You take a really convoluted sentence and just rewrite it to be direct, clear, and human. That's what taste is.
And finally, you add care. An AI will just give you cold, hard data. But you know your audience. You can translate that data into an empathetic message that says, hey, I get it. I understand what you're going through. This is how you build a real human connection. And that brings us to the key takeaway of this whole thing. Mastering AI isn't about becoming more like a machine. Not at all. It's about becoming a better director. The AI is the doer, but you are the one who provides the vision, the taste, the care, and the final say.
You now have the full playbook to go from beginner to pro. The only question left is, with these new skills, what amazing thing are you going to direct your new AI team to create first?